Writing the podcast Being Men as I learn to be a man. Understanding the time, lessons and patience inquired to be a 10. A series of compass insights of the journey for a different turn. Being men, where rivers of the mind flow to give a damn. A movement with river flows, so I be a bailer I can. All stones are turned, all souls affirmed. Right at the podcast Being Men. All stones are turned, all souls affirmed. Welcome to Being Men.
Hello there and welcome to another one. It's the hour that matters. Back with another one, Sunday, 9 o'clock. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for always making sure that you stay in tune. My name is Tatenda and I'm back to motivate you, to speak to you, and also to let God speak to me. And as He's speaking to me, I'm bringing it to you. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free. And if you're on Spotify and everything else, just follow and put on the notification bell. That way you know that every Sunday we've got something coming on for you, either myself or with a guest, or every day on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, there's always a short clip to encourage you, motivate you, and make sure that you are the best version of yourself. Anyway, without further ado, how are you doing? And today we're embarking on another journey or another topic. And the whole purpose of this is to make sure that as God is speaking to me, He's speaking to you. And as I am teaching, I may be wrong, but I'm saying all I'm doing right now is because I'm being led and guided by the Father. So if we may, let's jump along. Anyway, we are reading in Mark. And this is the time where Jesus was talking to the disciples and the multitudes. And the picture of this, it says Jesus was in the boat, then the boat was in the sea, or the boat was in the water, and the people were looking at him, or the people were listening to him as he was addressing them. Sort of like a pastor that is in a church is addressing his congregation. And this is the scenario that we're getting, and what God is going to speak, or what God is going to speak about, or Jesus is going to teach in this regard. So let's jump in and read Mark 4. And the first part is what happened with Jesus. You're welcome to go through and read it all, or I'm going to link it down in the description so that at least you've got a reference of what I'm saying when I'm saying, and also everything that I'm going to be speaking about is going to be in the subtitles or the scripture as it is on your screen. So it reads, we are in Mark 4 from verse 3. Listen, behold, this is Jesus that is addressing the people. This is Jesus addressing the multitudes. Listen, behold, a sower went out to sow, and it happened as he sowed that some seed fell on the wayside, and the birds of the air came and devoured it. Some fell on stony ground, where it did not have much earth, and it immediately sprang up, because it had not depth on earth. But the sun was up, it was scorched, and it had no root, it withered away. And some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no crop. But other seed fell on good ground, and yielded a crop that sprang up increased and produced some 30-fold, some 60-fold, and some 100-fold. And he said to them, he who has ears, let them hear. It's amazing how, if you picture how this farmer sowed the seed, it's not like, I believe I grew up with my mother wanting, and she loved agriculture, she loved farming. And I still remember vividly when we were young, when we were going to plant maize meal, you were to take a hoe and you dig down on the ground. Then you put in one seed, you close it off, you cover it with the soil. Then after a few weeks, when that seed starts to sprout, you come in and weed, because there will be weeds all around because of the rain. So this instance, the farmer did not come with the same sort of scenario, with the same sort of format of digging a hole. To my understanding, the farmer was just splatting, or like throwing away or randomly just chucking away, throwing away. So because of that, some seed will fall on good ground, some seed will fall on bad ground. But what the illustration is giving me here is there was no set format to how he planted the seed. But as a farmer or as a human being, you want to receive a reward. You want to get a harvest. So I don't think that the farmer had the presence of mind that, okay, even if some may fall on the bad part, I know that the ones that are going to fall on good ones are going to be the ones that I'm going to benefit from. Let's put that into context in today's living. If you sow a seed, if you sow one seed and you keep on coming to nurture it and sprout it, yes, you're going to get result, but you only get result enough for one. As opposed to if you sow so many seeds, there is a high chance that you're going to get much from that. And why I say so is, let's take, for example, and I always want us to, let's take these scenarios that we're getting in the Bible and we put them into our day-to-day living. And I'm going to use social media, for instance. If you post one video a day, you've got a potential of, yes, you're going to be known, yes, you're going to be visible online, but your chances of being visible are not the same as the person that posts 5 videos a day. And yes, it is challenging, but I don't think there's anything that is in this life that you can do without a challenge and it's not worth it. Right. Let's take, for example, you're applying for a job. If you put one application a day, there's a high chance that that one may be chucked into the bin or rejected or whatever the case may be, and it's still going to hurt. As opposed to if you are in need of a job, you're going to do things that are in your control. What's in your control is to apply. What's in your control is to post, right? And same thing again, if let's take, for example, there you are in gym, and we are in winter for most of the people that are in Africa. It's summer somewhere else. But there is a saying that mostly ladies say that summer bodies are made in winter. I choose to disagree with that because we want to do things haphazardly, very fast, to and try and achieve the result later on. As opposed to a summer body is made every single day with what you eat, how you exercise, and the program thereof. If you stick to consistency, if you stick to the same thing over and over again, you're bound to create results. Right? So what am I saying? The farmer throws away seed. He didn't throw away seed, but he splashes away seed in the hope that they are going to get notice, or they're going to get rain, they're going to get taken care of, or they're going to yield results. But the farmer did not put into consideration that some of the ground that we sow our seed in, or some of the ground that he saw his seed in, were not good ground to give him results. That's why some says the seed was growing, and as it was growing, because it did not have root, then it ended up wilting because of the sun. The other one was in the thorns, and let's talk about wilting or anything that doesn't have root. We know as people that if we don't have our baseline, which is God, whatever that we do, no matter how great we can be, the fact that we don't have the root, we'll always succumb to the pressure of the world, or we'll always succumb to the negative, or we'll always succumb to anything that does not encourage us to carry on doing what we are doing. So if you are posting or you are online and you want to be on social media and become a social media influence, if you do not have the root, and the root which is God, you're going to find out that you're going to carry on catching and taking any trend that is there just so that you want to be. Just so because you want to be famous or you want to trend. And we've seen a lot of people that are trending for the very wrong reasons. Just because I want to trend, I'm going to jump on the next bandwidth and do whatever that they're doing because they are getting views. But if you don't have a root, it is easy for you to lack the influence, or the principle there is that why are you online? Why are you starting a business? Why are you starting a podcast? Effectively speaking, the reason why you should start is not because you are great at it. It's because you know your root. And When you know your route, it is easy for you to stand and say, no, I'm not going to go this route, I'm going to go this route. Even though the road may seem hard and ineffective, I'm going to stick on. God is your route. Then you've got ones that go into thorns. I still believe that in as much as there was thorns, the ground was still good. So the seed still sprouted. But because the thorns were also growing, it was easy for the thorns to spike the seed. Same like yourself. You are in good ground. That goes without saying. You are in good ground. You've got God. You've got your root. You've got your baseline. Everything is going well. And yes, your principles are set. There you are growing up. There is going to be bad influences in life. It's the friends that we meet. It's the negative comments that we get online. It's people just not believing in your craft, or people misusing your good until you lose patience. And when that happens, that is the thorn that is getting in you. Because imagine you wake up every day and someone says on your timeline, oh, you're ugly. And I thank God that there's so many filters on social media that desist people from saying such bad words. But be that as it may, there's so much online bullying that's happening, and we speak against that. So if you are strong in your word, you still understand that yes, they may speak ill of you. Yes, they may speak negative of you. Yes, they may not believe in your craft. Yes, they may not buy your product for now, but do not be swayed, because you are the root that is in you is going to make sure that everything that you are focused on, or everything that you're trusting for with regards to you succeeding, is going to come to pass because of God that is within you. So don't let the social negative comment sway you. Don't also let people that are going to tell you that you're not good enough. There is so much importance in waking up and telling yourself that you are good. You can and you will. There's so much importance in telling yourself that, you believe in yourself. You're proud of yourself. You forgive yourself. You love yourself. Because effectively, if you can't spend time with you, how do you expect the next person to spend time with you? If you can't speak honest and if you can't be true to yourself, how do you expect the next person to be true to you? And I'm encouraging you today that when you wake up, learn to find 1 or 2 words of positivity. And the very first thing that we do when we wake up in the morning is to thank God. You wake up and say, thank God that I'm alive. Thank you, Lord, that you woke me up. Thank you, Lord, that this day is going to be a good day. And you'll see that in as much as the traffic light may not be working, in as much as the product is not even selling, you still are holding on to the fact that you still believe in your craft. You still believe that you started because you knew that that's the turn that God wanted you to go for. And because of that, you can still be rooted, and all those thorns are never going to touch you. Then, of course, there is the instance where it says, some fell on good ground. In as much as, yes, they fell on good ground, but in this life, there is no way that you can grow without challenges. I choose to believe that I will dwell on the seed that fell on thorny ground. Yes, it grew up. Yes, it was still good ground. But because of the negative influences or the noises that are around us, that seed was supposed to grow. And I'm encouraging you that there is thorns. That's no doubt. There is betrayal. There is hurt. There is brokenheartedness. These things are happening, and they're just there to make sure that you move away from your calling. Exodus 4:6 says, go and speak, but understand that the words that you're going to speak are not your words. That's why I'm encouraging you to start that business. That's why I'm encouraging you that, what, if it needs be, God be with me, I'm going to make it work. Just believe that you are going to make it work. Just believe that God is going to guide you. Just like he said here, and just like we know, you and I, everyone is going through a challenge. Everyone is sailing through the same storm, different boats. But be that as it may, you can still stand and say, there's so many thorns, there's so many noises, but I'm still going to start. Because effectively speaking, if Steve Jobs had not thought of it, Apple was never going to be here. Yes, he would have thought of it and said, no, don't think I'm good enough. But do you understand that A lot of people will start a company and still not have the right know-how of how to make it succeed, but they employ people that are better than them. That's another strategy as well. You get a guy that has never gone to school, yet they'll start a company and still hire an accountant and still hire a person or a qualified person that has gone to university and stayed in university for 4 to 6 years to qualify for that trade. But because they chose to believe that, yes, I can, that's why they succeeded. And nothing is stopping you. So I'm encouraging you today. I'm encouraging you tonight. Whatever time that you are getting this, just start. What is the worst that could happen? Because at the end of the day, the very same words that you wake up with and you affirm yourselves are the same words that are going to push you when things don't feel okay. Because consistency is not because we are excited. Consistency and commitment is long after that mood is gone. You can still say, you know what, I know for sure that God called me to start this company. I know for sure that God called me to start this relationship. And no matter what challenges may come my way, I'm still going to hold on to the fact that He called me. Still hold on to the fact that He called you regardless. That's how we succeed. That's how we start. And yes, it's a scary world out there. Someone once said that when you start your own business, when you are working for yourself, you work 8 hours a day. When you're working for someone else, you work 8 hours a day. When you're working for yourself, you work a 24-hour day. Literally, you are working every single minute. When it's the 25th or the 30th, when you're supposed to send invoices, you're already thinking, are my bills going to be enough? But that's the excitement part of it. You're going to get to a point whereby you don't have to worry about it. But the start is what you need for you to get to a point where you don't have to worry about it. Yes, you can work for someone else and just get a salary and you're okay. You do the bare minimum, what you expected to do in your company or by your employee. But is that enough? Is it fulfilling you? If it is, great, carry on. If it is not, start something. What is the worst that could happen? Companies file for bankruptcy. People separate. These things happen. You cannot push your way forward or you cannot explore further just because you are scared that what if I fail? That fear of the unknown is what stops us from pursuing that which God has called us to. And I'm encouraging you tonight, just start. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow for the short clips. Those who carry on going. And the reason why we do the short clips is so that there are some people that will feel like, this is too much to keep on watching Tatenda and his cuteness for longer. Go to the short ones. You'll always find relevance in the short ones. And when you find time in your car or you're riding your bike, whatever that you are doing, just plug on your earphones and just listen to me speak. I promise you're going to hear God speak. And as I'm speaking, I'm ministering to myself as it stands. Let's carry on. Let's join hands and just do this thing. Let us be a generation that will say, you know what, I started that company and it failed, but through me failing in that company, I then started this company. Then that one failed, and I learned this, then I moved on to that company. Don't be scared of failure. So what if you fail? So what if you downgrade? So what if you go back? It is what it is. We just have to do the best that we can with the list that we have. And I always use this illustration. There is a series that was happening on Showmax called Adulting. Adulting is hard. But be that as it may, we still have to put on our big panty shoes, our big panties, and just carry on big panty shoes. What is that? And just carry on. It is what it is. Life is tough. Fuel is going up. I get that. But that's not going to stop you. Do you know that if ShopRite had said, no, there is Woolies and there is Pick and Pay and there is this, I can't open, they were never going to be in business. Right now, ShopRite is scoring millions in profit on a daily basis. And there can be 4 or 5 supermarkets all in the same complex. And they still all have customers. There is no such thing as I can't come up with this product because someone else is selling it. The amount of stuff that Takealot is selling is stuff that we find at China Mall. But someone is selling the very same product and someone is going online to purchase that. So we can never use that illustration that no, things are not well, or the competition is stiff. There is way more than enough for everyone to grasp. So just start. Your seed is going to fall on good ground. Your seed is going to fall on thorny ground because you've got a base, and your base is God. You also don't want your seed to fall on spaces where it's going to be rocky and you're not going to have base. You're not going to have a baseline. So as long as we're making sure that whatever seed that it is that you are planting, be it in your words or in your actions, make sure that you're throwing it into good ground. And thorny ground is still good ground. What is important is, are you still going to have the audacity, or I still have to have the decency and the guts to still stand and say, yes, it may be sore, yes, it may be thorny, and they're pricking me and whatnot, but I can still stand, and still I can do it. Imagine Jesus. I'm getting this picture with Jesus with the thorn in his hand and in his head, and the thorn had thorns. Inasmuch as those thorns were pricking him, his base was God and understanding the mission that was at hand. Same thing with you. It may be so. There are months that is going to be very, very tough. There are months that you're going to feel like, why did I do this? I can go back to corporate. I can go back to get a job and just get a salary. But don't give up. If you're in that position where you started and you're like, things are not going well, it's also going to be a time where things are going to go well. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. And right before sunset, there is that part, 4, 5 a.m., that is very dark. Maybe you're in that dark phase and the sunlight is just around the corner. Don't go back to corporate. Just don't give up on God. You started. The fact that you started, well done. The fact that you're carrying on in as much as it is hard. Yes, you are finding it difficult to break even. I get that. But the fact that you started, you're better than the one that hasn't started. I remember I was sitting here with Tsepo, and I told him that I'm going to record every single day for 365 days. And he's like, do you have a plan? That's going to be tough. And rightfully so. It's going to be tough. And that's exactly where you're finding yourself right now. That, was it a good thing for me to start? Yes, it was. It was a good thing for you to start that company, because effectively, your children's children are going to benefit from your sweat right now. Don't give up. For as long as God is with you, don't give up. Something is going to give. They may not be buying your product now, but I choose to believe that ShopRite at some point, people were not going there. People were deciding to go to Pick n Pay or Woolies or whoever started first. Boxer was never going to start because people were going to ShopRite. And for those set of years or whatever before they broke even, life was tough. Yet right now, supermarkets are one of the biggest commodities, and they're selling the biggest commodities and making big profit margins. It is what it is. Don't stop because you're scared that you're going to fail. Don't stop because you are scared of what they are going to say. That what if people say syndrome, that's a thorn. You are growing and you know for sure that has been your dream, whatever it is. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. Whatever dream that it is that you've got. My question is, how many seeds are you planting? They say in marketing that if you call 100 people, you're going to get a potential of 10 back, 10%. But if you call 10, you're going to get 1. And I've seen people that will come up and say, no, I made 1 call to try and sell a house. I once sold houses. You need to make 1,000 calls to sell probably 1. Or to get 1 listing. That's how tough it is. But in as much as it is tough, it is worth it. Because in the long run, you're going to reap the benefits thereof. Keep on sowing seeds. Seeds of prayer, seeds of your words, seeds around your community, seeds in your society, seeds for yourself. Whatever you say is a seed. And where is your seed going to be planted? I'll see you guys bright and early. I kept on going. Cheers for now. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Do it. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. I'll see you guys next week. And we're going to have another guest. And the whole purpose of guests coming onto the show is to make sure that when the person speaks to you about or speaks to me about their challenge or what they went through, you find courage through that. And I'm inviting and extending the hand to you. Come, let's speak about your story. Everyone has got a story. Celebrities, not celebrities, everyone has a story. And everyone is going to learn from them. So don't be scared. Don't be shy of the camera. Don't shy away from speaking on the microphone and speak about your story. You are welcome to come to the Men Podcast. Let's do this. Let's do this. Remember, work hard, stay believing, and